What's going on, gamers? What's going on, world? What's going on, good Dragon Age fans when Dragon Age was good, and Bioware fans when Bioware was good, right? No, not this crap now. We have a lot to talk about. One, Asmongold here getting blacklisted. We're going to talk about how corrupt that is. And two, what Jason over here said, which is crazy. And also Bioware saying that there isn't going to be any DLC, and it turns its attention to Mass Effect 5. Yeah, because I think that that just wouldn't do well and wouldn't receive well. It would get reviewed poorly, and it would be a waste of resources, and they're already roasted, so they're going to move on, right? And the user score over here being at 3.8, generally unfavorable, and we have these paid controlled reviews right here, which obviously are not a reality, and it's been like that for days now. They're not releasing anything else, which I find to be absolutely funny. Uh, but it just, also how BioWare has also lost its masculinity, right? They can't handle anything and the crappy stuff they have to do that we're about to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into this. Like, subscribe, let me know what y'all think too. Let's get the show going.
What's happened is that the Dragon Age subreddit has banned basically everybody from commenting. Like, anybody who comments on my subreddit and then comments on Dragon Age gets automatically banned. Update.
See, that's kind of weird. That's something that like a woman would do. Like, you're getting extra feminine. Well, remember, a transgender is directing a game too, right? It's a Baphomet spirit that's confused and trying to interject all this confusion onto the younger crowd and everybody else too. Because it's not just something that you do to say, oh, I'm just leading the game. No, you want to inject everything that you are from your spirit into the game and make the spirit of that game based around that. That affects dialogue choices, everything that's important in Dragon Age. Because when we talk about Bioware games, it's very important when it's encounters, seeing characters, building a bond, and making choices with the dialogue. Those things are critically important in the Bioware series. You know what I mean? When we look at Mass Effect, when we look at Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, when we look at older Baldur's Gate, when we look at Dragon Age, it's just dialogue and choices are important. But when you're trying to enforce that weird aspect into the game, it affects all of that. It's not just something that's light, and people are now starting to understand that, and I'm glad they're waking up to it. But them trying to control and ban everyone and not even giving them the free will to speak, which means that these people can't face reality. Why are you in a professional position like that when you can't even face reality? You have to be able to see the light and the darkness of reality. That's seeing the truth, that's seeing the constructive criticism, and that's taking it and wanting to better yourself. But blocking all that out and only wanting to see a positive, toxic illusion, you're never going to grow that way. That actually handicaps people. That's not what we want in the gaming industry. That's what we want the hell out of the gaming industry. Because, like I said, that's not the masculine principle that it was built on, and that's not very masculine. And you know what I mean? You can't handle much. And what are you doing in that type of world? You need to be able to honestly accept the truth, whatever that is. That's what free will of expression is. This is free will. So this tells you, this goes back to people who want to censor and control. That's communistic. That's the far left for you right now. But we need to get out. So yeah, that stuff is garbage.
I just got auto banned from the Dragon Age sub because I also subscribed to Asmongold. They felt I already violated community rules. Quote, it's not in the rules. My comment was regarding how long it takes to get through Inquisition's story. I think BioWare is weaponizing a new sector of marketing to control the narrative on all fronts.
That is exactly what they're doing. And this is what I'm talking about here. I don't see a company being able to grow healthy with their community and being able to improve the game if they're not going to be able to do this. This can't go on any longer. They need to get out. But let's see what EA does, right? Because they can make 5 more games like this, and if EA doesn't want to get rid of them, they can keep them, right? Unless the industry says something else and comes in as a hostile takeover. But EA is doing so well because of sports, FIFA, and all that other stuff that they can get away with this, and they have been doing this for a while. Even without this being in there, we know EA has done terrible things and can keep on going, and will even dump on great companies and then sacrifice them and then replace them and get other golden eggs. So when we're dealing with EA, like people saying it's the end of Bioware, guys, don't think that, because EA decides that. And we know how EA is. If you've been in the gaming industry as long as I have for over 30 plus years.
Well, if they're trying to control the narrative, they're doing a really, really bad job. Just tested it and it got banned for this GIF. I wonder if... Okay, so what if I... It's my first Dragon Age game, and I'm curious to see what all the hype is about. Okay. What? Post is waiting approval. Am I pre-banned? Am I pre-banned? Are they in the room with us right now? Are they watching the stream? No fucking shot. Are you kidding me? Did I get banned?
I would think so, because if they're blocking people that are even going to your subreddit, then that means they're monitoring you a lot because you have a lot of influence, and your influence will affect a lot of people. Because you know, a million people probably watch you every day or something like that. And if you do anything, they're going to monitor and have people spy on you. And anything you do, they're going to make sure you can't post. They saw that you were doing that, and that wasn't what you really wanted to type. So that makes sense to me that they did that. But it obviously it's still wrong. But it's crazy that they can't even let people that are in his identity circle, because it's people that think like-minded like him and agree with him, not even be able to post. Don't even give them the opportunity. They just completely block them off. That's very unprofessional. That's very feminine. Like I said, that's stuff that women do. When we talk about developing industry, production industry, you know what I mean? Leading, directing, being open, learning and improving, knowing how to handle things and being strong. That's not what I see here. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like what is this? Bioware has lost its masculinity. It's lost its reason to grow and be able to take constructive criticism, knowing that what you're doing is wrong, knowing how your base was built around a masculine principle, and people have been your fan and what type of base you had for like 20, 30 years now, and that you're going to try to throw this in front of them and you're going to get mad when they reject it. This is the same everywhere now. Same thing with the Star Wars worlds, right? It's like, know your community. You should know that it's 97% of people that are not going to accept this. And then you get mad when they say what they say. Yeah, because they have a right to, and you're wrong and they're right. What you're doing is wrong. No, nobody wants that. You're trying to enforce a 1% even and onto the 99% that don't want that. And you you think they're going to just accept that and support it? And you sell 10 million copies? Yeah, grow up, please. You're being very immature. So it's not the same company, not the same soul, not the same spirit. It's pretty obvious.
I can't post. I actually cannot post anymore. Within less than 1 minute, my post, I'm excited for Dragon Age. Stop right there, criminal scum. Hello, you've been permanently banned from participating in Dragon Age because you broke this community's rules due to too many repeated infractions of our civility and bigotry rules from users of...
There it goes again. Bigotry, see? What? Trying to double bind you. Trying to make you think you're wrong for what you shouldn't accept because they dumped on a franchise you supported your whole life and cared about. And that somehow they're going to stick that label on you. That's what they do. It's the bigotry, the racism, the grifting, all this nonsense, the insult, all this stuff. You know, they've overused it too much. And then sometimes they use it in situations where it just doesn't make sense. And it's like, we're not falling for it. No.
This community, Asmongold, we have decided to automatically revoke access to our subreddit as a preventative measure so that our community at large can focus on actual criticisms of the game without getting involved in the war against woke culture. I have been permanently banned.
See, they're saying that it's 100% anti-woke or something, people attacking the woke culture. Dude, even if that label didn't exist, it's the same thing. We're not accepting what you're putting in front of us. It's a gaming issue to us, but it's also a gaming issue that has been invaded by political issues that don't belong in the gaming industry, that are just hindering it, destroying the creativity, destroying great developers that have been great for 30 fucking plus years, and now all of a sudden they're going down so fast because of all this garbage that's in here that doesn't belong in there. And everything we're doing is right. And you're gonna try to say that these people are wrong for what they're doing, I'm wrong for what I'm doing. They're going to try to make us seem like we're negative, but what you're doing is actually negative, toxic. You're trying to enforce things upon us that are just not natural to our growth and to our whole lifestyle in general. And somehow we're wrong for that. I don't think so. Like I said, you people just need to get out of the gaming industry permanently.
Banned, bald. But no, what I typed is that I was excited. I'm really excited for Dragon Age Veilguard. I can't wait to play it. I feel like this is racism because like all of the people in my subreddit, oh wow, you know, are they saying that we're some kind of like an inferior culture? I don't know what the fuck is this. This sounds really, really wrong. This is awful. Here we go again. Yeah, what a bad generalization.
Yeah, 100%. So going over here, we see that this is what the users think, right? This is what Bioware wanted to form and shape in your mind that you believed it was true. Now, I would say this is more about in the 70s range, 74, right? 70. It's no better than Mass Effect Andromeda. Now Dragon Age has its Mass Effect Andromeda. Right? No, think about it, guys. We had our three Mass Effect games, we had our three Dragon Age games. Now we get the Andromeda over here with DEI and woke and all the weird stuff, and it's even worse, man. Oh man, so yeah, let's just think about that, right? And then them saying they have no plans for DLC. Of course not. Why would you do that? That's a bad move. I'd say, yeah, you probably made some right decision, right? This is the best decision you made because it's just gonna get dumped on. It's not gonna do well. You're better off trying to focus on Mass Effect 5. And honestly, I don't want to see it, guys, because I have such love for the trilogy, and it just pisses me off that Commander Shepard's legacy is going to be affected. But I'm putting that off in its own world, and it has nothing to do with Andromeda and any of that stuff because he's done, right? Let's keep that there. But let's get to this idiot over here. So he says, "Go woke, go." Then he stops instead of saying "broke" or tops the charts, and it's like, not really, bro. It's just a day one spike, right? And that's not very impressive. It should be like 400,000 or 500,000. You know what I mean? So, and this guy says it didn't even beat Hades 2. He says, so you're saying it should have been as woke as Hades 2. Got it. And he's just trolling because it's like, why are you doing this, right? You're being an idiot. And this guy says, to be fair, just having the name Dragon Age is going to get it pretty far with people who aren't terminally online. I agree with that. But from the controversy I've heard, most of the criticism is less with the pronouns and more with the quality of the writing. And I've explained why that happened earlier. A fair criticism that unfortunately has been poisoned by the anti-woke grifters. You are an absolute moron to even say that. And who knows if his likes are not bought, or he just has a whole community of Bioware behind him agreeing with him. But I don't care if you had 1 million, right? It just means you have 1 million idiots supporting corruption and a stupid statement. The truth is the truth, whether one person believes it and a billion disbelieve it, right? You're just in disbelief against the truth. And you have a billion people agreeing with you, and they're all wrong, and the one person's right. Doesn't change the truth. If it doesn't break 200K this weekend, I have a hard time believing they'll recoup the dev costs. EA makes so much money, it doesn't matter. It's incredible how confidently you can say something so nonsensical. Well, it's not going to break 200K from what I've seen. So we see that he's just doing nothing but defending BioWare. He's a corporate shill. Way too early to make any sort of claim on that. People can return it tomorrow. And then you see the mixed reviews. When they what? Find out how woke it is, they know already, my dude. Okay? There's no way you generally like this turd. That's a great comment. I actually don't like the game very much, but I do like seeing you Chudge get dunked on. How are we getting dunked on when the game is getting dunked on? This guy seems very salty, but also just like a douchebag defending corporations and doesn't want to say that the corporation is getting dunked on because he's probably in a spot where he could lose his position of power a bit if he, sides with the side of justice and righteousness, right? But no, let's saying that he likes seeing you. See, he's just forming everyone in that circle. You know, he's not doing anything except saying he doesn't like the game that much at all. But that's okay because if you look at the ratio here, he's still attacking most of the community. But he's not telling us why he doesn't like the game. Same reason. He just doesn't want to admit it. Looks like a bomb for a flagship game. Even Helldivers had 50 concurrent players, City says. This might hurt your head if you think about it too much, but the game came out less than 4 hours ago. Seriously, dude? Yeah, he's just continuing here. Let's keep reading. I've never read this, by the way. People told me to look into this. Is this game any good? Combat General things to do could care less about the other side of the debate, given that they've moved from turn-based to real-time. I read it's incredibly bullet spongy. I found the combat and level design to be monotonous, and the story hasn't grabbed me enough to make me want to keep playing. Interesting. Okay. At least he admits that. Most of the people I listen to regularly were disappointed by this game, but I am glad to see it succeeding. It's not really succeeding. Probably won't be playing this, especially after just hearing your view now, too, on your podcast. I bounced off it hard, whatever that means. Sometimes it works, sometimes you end up like Concord. It all depends on how strong the brand is. The people are willing to forgive, ignore, or not care. They get past it, enjoy the game, hopefully. I think it is clear to anyone whose brains haven't been infested by grifter worms that the failure of Concord has nothing to do with woke. I can't believe he just posted that. Guys, after him typing that, yeah, you are a complete and utter moron, or you're just the best troll I've ever seen. But wow, okay, now I see why people told me to look at this type of stuff and why it seems to be a thing. Wow, dude, really? I would have expected better from you. But unbelievable, y'all, what I just seen. There we have it. Let me know what y'all think about this. Glad to cover this, and this guy is a corrupt douche. I can understand a douche against corruption, which is plausible, definitely if you're being genuine, but this type, yeah, bad. Like, subscribe. Peace out, y'all. We're gonna keep doing this. I'll be doing this for years. I ain't going nowhere. Support an intelligent channel.